again, I'm all those things. All those things are me.
Yeah,
so,
but you're reaching a different level. So
right. No, I got you. Right.
But these are seed planting in people. So
right. And correct. And when you're planting it though, it's okay, but we can't neglect the fact to try to address it in its correct form. So that's okay. So if somebody is using that term, say that's fine, brother. And like you say, they do need to come, or he or she needs to come to that realization on their own, not because somebody told them. So I definitely agree with you 100%. Anybody else? Okay. All right. What did I do with that book? All right. So we talked about the root chakra and being grounded in it. Okay. So we left off a couple weeks ago after the throat chakra. I wanted to backtrack on the root chakra because of the question that came up with the root chakra. The throat chakra, as came up earlier with the sister there, deals with expression. You'll find most people, and I'm not saying this is just you, I'm talking in general now. Most people that have issues with their throat chakra being developed, they don't know how to express themselves. They're quiet. They keep things locked in. They keep it trapped in because it's something that was subliminally put there. But here's the flip side to that. Usually those people are very volatile when they explode.
Exactly.
And when they explode, it ain't pretty.
So much.
They've been suppressing so much. So, throat chakra deals with expressing yourself. Throat chakra deals with your creativity. Throat chakra deals with connecting on the spiritual realm. That's an important chakra that needs to be developed because it's the bridge to the brow chakra or the pineal gland or the crown chakra. And that's why I was explaining to you why you're passing out when you're having that experience, because it's like crossing a bridge, but there's something blocking the bridge. You can't get to the other side. That's usually what happens when you need to work with that chakra. So once that chakra is developed and you're doing things to stimulate it and it's working in its correct capacity, because remember, the chakras are energy centers. They're like conductors. They're like antennas. They are receptors, or these energy wheels that the body receives to travel these planes. And you'll see in each culture specific deities identified with each chakra. Go ahead.
Is there sound
Most
that
definitely.
can work with?
Most definitely. Go ahead. What were you going to say? Sound that's.
That can open or loosen.
Most definitely.
Like you say, what sound would that be?
For an example, you have several different sounds you can use for. Well, I don't want to say sounds. You could say mantras, which is a better terminology. You could take a specific deity, for an example, that coincides with a certain chakra. For an example, the deity Kali Ma in the Hindu pantheon, who is the dark goddess. Kali means dark. Mm-hmm. Now, people got to understand also the original, what we know as the Hindu deities today, they were originally African, because you go into Dravidian culture, before that got messed up, the Dravidians, who were African and migrated from Africa into what's called India today, they practice these dark sciences. For an example, if you wanted to access the crown chakra, there's a mantra for Kali Ma that's pronounced like cream soda, cream. Mm-hmm. If you chant cream in its correct vibration, you can do this individually or collectively in a group. It stimulates the crown chakra. If, for an example, you wanted to stimulate or decalcify the pineal gland, you can work under the sign of Taurus, which is the bull, and the bull is synonymous with the deity Ra in Egypt. You can chant various aspects of the name of Ra. You can chant Atum Re, Atun, Amun, which are different aspects or manifestations of the actual movement of the sun. Because when you're saying Atum, all you're identifying is with the sun coming up over the horizon. Atun is midday. Amun is when it sets. Aknun is when you can't see it. And that deals with the higher intellect. So if you chant Aknun, it almost sounds like the Om chant, but it's not. And obviously Om, which is the original vibratory sounds of when our galaxy was expanding, that's what the Om sound. That's why the Buddhists chanted and various different cultures chant it. That's more like a whole body recharger or replenisher that stimulates all the chakras. Then there's ones that you can individually focus on for organs, thyroids, like for the throat chakra and the thyroid. That same chant works. So the good thing is to find corresponding mantras that affiliate with the chakras or certain archetype deities, and you'll find that develops them on a rapid pace. And I personally can attest to Kali Ma. And the feminine dark energy is way more powerful than the male energy. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The feminine energy is more raw. It's powerful. And for example, Kali Ma is the type of energy, if you want to teach somebody how to swim, she don't give you lessons, she throws you into the deep part of the pool. You understand what I'm saying?
Like my dad.
That's how that's how Kali Ma teaches you. Kali Ma is not babies you and caresses your back. Kali Ma says, oh, you want to experience this? Boom, throws your ass out there and you experience it. So the feminine energy is much more raw than the male energy. Okay, that's very important to understand. We got no, I thought you were going to say something. Okay.
No.
So that throat chakra is a bridge to the brow chakra and the crown chakra. Now, go ahead.
What about smoking some weed? That's what your crown chakra.
In its natural form, yeah. Yeah.
I find I can't smoke.
No, it does. But
I find myself to be much more my thoughts. I'm so like they're so much more vivid.
Right.
It's intense. I'm like, oh my god, this is kind of scary.
But it has to be, obviously a pure good form of it. Now I wouldn't smoke that shit that I grew up in New York around that shit they were selling on the street, because they were doing all types of shit to that. I mean, back in the day, I was diluting that shit when I was selling it just to make money off of it, because it was more of a money game than it was. We wasn't selling the shit because we wanted to open you up to spirituality. We were selling it because we was trying to make some money. But yes, in its pure form, like again, when I go back to 1992, the only time I've ever tried it was in a tea. And that was a whole different experience. Like I found in the tea form, totally different. So, and this was stuff that's grown, natural from the ground. They grow it up in the mountains on the natural soil. So I would say, yes, that type of herbology can open you up to higher states of consciousness.
And if you meditate with it as well.
Sure. But not look at the various different cultures. Go back to the shamans of the Native Americans. They, in order to reach, when you went to the medicine man, and what he did, he gave you hallucinogens, so you can conquer anything that was in your subconscious mind that you were afraid of. And what the hallucinogens did was it brought out all the demons that resided in you. And to become a shaman, you have to address every demon that exists in your subconscious mind until you can be elevated a master. And that's what a shaman did. And they do that in various parts of Africa too. So you have to address every part of your nature. You can't pick and choose. If you say I want to be conscious and I want to be a spiritual master, male or female, there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with that.
Knowing thyself, that's pretty much what it is.
And that's inscribed upon the temple of Heliopolis in ancient Egypt. It says, know thyself, and thou shalt know the gods. Didn't say know Allah, Jehovah, or Jesus, or God up in the sky. It said, know thyself, and thou shalt know the gods. Go ahead.
You was talking about the laws of Ma'at. I just wanted to make sure I...
Sure. As far as... Oh, you mean in the beginning?
I want to know that.
Okay, the laws of Ma'at. When you go back to the laws of Ma'at, I was saying in the beginning of the class, in order to really understand the laws of Ma'at, you have to understand the 7 principles of Tahuti. They're both married to each other. They both coincide. You can't have one without the other. When you read the laws of Ma'at, it's the physical manifestation of laws. Thou shalt not steal. Being kind to your brethren. Certain acts of spirituality, balancing yourself out, because they say on the physical realm it deals with balancement.
There's
Okay?
something on the wall right
Where at?
there.
Oh, right, they're under the electrical.
The 7 attributes.
7 attributes.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Electrical.
Here's a quick precursor. All right. Order, balance, harmony, truth, receptivity, propriety, righteousness. That's the physical manifestation of all is mental, mental is all. The doctrine of polarity, as above, so below. The doctrine of gender. All of these things, you have to master those first to even understand those 7 attributes. And those are just 7. Matt even goes a little more intricate than that.
Say it again. Say the last sentence that you just said. You have to master all of what things?
The 7 principles of Tahuti.
Tahuti.
Correct. Because the Tahuti deals with the subjective realm. Ma'at deals with the objective realm. Now, when I say subjective and objective comes from the word object. It's physical. So most people that think they're tapping into higher states of consciousness are really tapping into their objective consciousness, not their subjective. The laws of Tahuti, or the 7 principles, deal with your subjective consciousness, which the reality that you create. That was the guidance that was given to us on the physical or the objective realm. That's the difference. And these are the attributes one is supposed to follow and carry out. Now, justice is another one that's not on there. All right, this is where you get these principles and these concepts from. So when one is able to mesh both of them, you'll find they both go coincide. But the thing is, I always hear people start there when they should be starting with the 7 principles of Tahuti first, and then working themselves towards Ma'at.
Okay, so what are the 7 principles of
Tahuti.
Okay, 7 principles of Tahuti. First one is all is mental, mental is all. The doctrine of polarity.
Polarity.
Yes, the doctrine of gender, the doctrine of vibration.
Doctrine.
Doctrine of vibration.
What do you mean doctrine? What's that?
Just a term. Vibrate here. Let's do this. Let's pull it up and give you one. When we say the word doctrine, it just means a concept or a system. Here, watch this.
Okay.
Let's do this. These are brief definitions you could put through in front of all 7. All right, so let's do this. Watch. And they're like one sentence you can just put. What I would recommend you get is the book, The 3 Initiates. That breaks down the whole
The
7
3
principles.
initiates?
Yes. Alright. I have it on ebook, so I'm going to pull it up real quick. And if you go onto the YouTube page, I did a whole 4-hour class on this. You could actually, I mean, if you got the time, watch it. It's on the whole actual breakdown of every principle in detail. Just give me a sec, I gotta load him. The first one is the key, though. Let's talk about the first one real quick. All is mental. Mental is all. People grasp that concept. Say that again. All is mental.
All is mental.
Mental is all. Nothing exists outside of the subconscious mind. That's important to understand.
Like they say, everything is created twice. First it's created in the mind first, and then in manifestation.
Correct. That's why I said earlier, when working with the subjective realm or spirits, whatever you want to, whatever experiences you're having, even though they're creating the illusion that it's an experience that's happening outside of yourself, it's really not. You're actually communicating with your higher self, and sometimes it can create that illusion. Okay, when I say that illusion, you say, well, yeah, you know, I've had the experience where I've communicated with the spirit. I saw my mother, etc. You probably have. And you probably have, no doubt.
Who drive an Acura outside? A white Acura? In your driveway?
I drive a Nissan Rogue. It's a little truck.
No, a white?
It's a white Nissan Rogue.
Then maybe that's it. It's in the driveway?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a Nissan Rogue. Okay, let me. I'm like, yeah, that's my next car, maybe. Yeah, I don't know for him. That's okay.